Okay, we are winding down the installment of the lighting in the Black Beauty. So this is where I'm at. I'm installing the lighting inside the back seat. Right now I've got my LEDs taped down and across there, holding them in place. Tape on my wires on the bottom. And I just took a nice big turd of black silicone and smeared that across there to hold those in place. That'll set up in about 20-30 minutes, and I won't really mess with it until tomorrow, which is where I'll pick up this video later, and then we just pull that tape off there so the light gets there. Right now it's just keeping those LEDs pressed flat against the inside of that seat. Kato's in the driver's seat, as you can see, and old Green Hornet's over here waiting to go in. I'll just set him aside there. Painted the wheels black, and then those will get the ring and around the inside centers there. We'll get a little silver. All my other chrome pieces have been dumbed down, as you can see here, the paint. And once we get this interior tub finished with the lights and stuff, I've run the light up to the dashboard after this is dry, and then I can go ahead and get the interior, that whole tub installed up into the body. So, and then we'll be ready to roll along with final assembly, and we will pick up there. Okay. Yep, that's it for now. I will add to this soon. Okay, so I know this looks like complete overkill, and it is, but I'm putting in the seat back, so I didn't want any light bleed in here, so I used my my ultra black again, which I left the lid off of, and using that, that's Permatex, to seal that shut. That way we don't get any light bleeding through the top between the two seat pieces, because those LEDs are really bright. So this is clamped. I'll let this sit till I get home from work, and that should all be nice and hardened in there. And like my LEDs lighten up great. I tested that earlier. They're backlighting perfectly. So getting down here to the end. So and I went in and working on the wheels and tires. So this is how these should actually be painted. A little more dulled down, mostly black in there. I think the center cap needs to be silver. I think I need to paint that silver if I remember correctly. But so that's almost done. So yeah, we're getting down to the end here. So I'll add some more to this later. Hey everybody, Tim here, Rat Daddy Studios. I am out in the garage and show you what I'm working on. So this is my Works portable blade runner table saw, and I am going to cut some sheet plexi for the display base for my Black Beauty. So I've already kind of laid everything out here, and I'm just gonna knock this out real quick because I only got just two shortcuts because I've got some scrap plastic here, and this is 1/8 inch sheet Lexan. You can get this on eBay in all different sizes. I love these bright colors, as you guys know. And this one I'm gonna have to hand cut because it's not gonna work with the guide. So I'm just gonna run it through. I've already got my line drawn there. Run this through by hand, and probably not gonna be able to. It's no big deal about filming this, but I'm just gonna set the camera behind me. I'm gonna make these cuts real quick. I gotta draw out one line on this one before I cut it, and we'll get that done and I'll show you what I'm doing. So I'm gonna sit this just back here, fire this puppy up. Probably not perfect because of not being able to use my guide, but it's pretty straight. And so this has got protective film over it right now. This is the bottom. This is actually the piece that I need. Yes. This is the bottom. This is the piece I'm actually using. So excess up there. So right now it's got the protective film on it. This is that fluorescent yellowy green. So peel this off. This is 1/8 inch thick. So this is real user friendly. It's lightweight. Pretty easy to cut. This little saw, this is made by Worx, W-O-R-X tools, and I got this for Father's Day a few years back, so I'd wanted one of these for a while. See that that's the bottom, so got that hot colored. So you can see even in just normal light, this stuff just totally fluoresces. That's why I like it. It's just cool. It's got a neat look to it. So okay, so that's my first piece. My second piece is this is a dark green, transparent green, and I'm going to utilize this whole square back here because this is scrap, but as this works out, that decal that I've got that my buddy Mike Lippeth gave me, that he made, fits really good on here. So that's going to go behind the car, and then I'll have to, of course, I've got to get some plexi and make some pieces to elevate the car off the ground. I told you guys I had clearance problems because of where the plug-in goes for the power source. So that was my fault, but I'm not sure how I could have done it differently because I wouldn't want the plug going in anywhere like in the side of the car or anything either. So it was really the only way for me to do it. I mean, other than the alternative, I could have put a like a jumper wire coming off of there instead with some quick connects, you know, like they use on RC cars. I've done that in the past for things. If I have to run wires out of something and then through maybe some metal tubing and then put a quick connect on it, I could have done it that way and avoided this issue. And that way that I could have just undone the quick connect and the car could have just sat normally on the ground. But this is okay. I mean, you know, a lot of my boats and stuff are on elevated platforms, so I'm good with that. So I'm going to make a quick line on here and draw that out. Making a ton of noise here. What I would normally use to draw this out real quick is in my bag of tools that I've got to take to my daughter's house. So I don't have it handy, so I'm just going to use this quickie L-shaped ruler and draw this out. Alright, so that's done. I learned that from Adam Savage. If there's tools that you use all the time, and there are, just keep one of them close at hand. So I keep like a hammer, tape measure, a medium-sized level, and just a few things. Well, over here, it's a mess right now. Usually this looks better than this, but this is just right next to my bench where I can just grab real quick. So these are always here. There's a full-size hammer, a little mini hammer, that tape measure, pencils, and then my shop apron's over here. That's also got pencils and markers. I love this yellow or leather shop apron. I use this thing a lot. It's great for when I'm working. Not only keep my clothes and stuff from getting burnt, painted, whatever, but it's just comfortable. It's got lots of big pockets in it. It's super handy. And I think I showed you guys before these pica pens, which are super handy. Got the long snout on them so you can get down into some holes and stuff. If you're marking things that are down in deep channels or deep holes, they're great. You get those off of Amazon. Not super expensive, they're not cheap, but they're not super expensive, but they last forever. And just handy as can be. So anyway, all right, let me make this other cut real quick. quick and easy. That almost fit. Well, if I keep every little piece of this stuff because I end up using it for something. I mean, even these little tiny squares like this, I will use it. I will vacuum off my saw later when I'm not on here, but this will be the background piece here, which is this kind of dark transparent green, which is cool. This should be nice. I could actually probably backlight this or put some lighting on it for that decal, maybe, you know, somewhere, but I'll probably just leave it. I've done enough lighting on this thing to not have to deal with any more. But I do a lot of these display bases. They're simple. But the other thing is, a lot of the models, a lot of the stuff I've been doing, especially a lot of this 3D printed stuff, they're cumbersome to try to carry, and they're fragile. A lot of them, they're you know, some of that the 3D stuff especially is brittle and not easy to carry. Of course, I do a lot of weird figures and stuff, and they're awkward to try to pick up, or you could damage them trying to pick them up. So I'll just make a little plexi base, you know, and stick it underneath of them a lot of times. So you know, I usually make it just a little bit bigger than the actual item that I'm putting on here. Like the Black Beauty car is almost the exact same size of that little base that I cut out of the yellow. And this little backlight piece is not too much taller than the car, but it's tall enough that you can see that really cool decal that Mike made. So that was the whole point. So yeah, nice transparent green. Same thing, 1/8 inch thick, so you can get a nice glue line on there. Once I get this glued to the base, that's your bottom. It's a little bit narrower, but again, I'm using what I've got, so it's just going to look like that. You know, bright bottom, dark green back. Then I'll have that decal on there, which is that bright green and yellow and black, and it's got some red in there, you know, the Green Hornet logo. So anyway, that's that. Just wanted to show you that's what I do with this stuff. Again, you can get this off of eBay. You can find all different thicknesses. I've gone thinner than this, but honestly, the 1/8 inch is, you know, it's got a little flex to it, but it's still durable. So if you've got an item on it you're picking up, it's not flexing all over the place. So it's a good, and it's easy to cut. This saw, you can get all kinds of cutting blades for it. It's actually got, if I can find it somewhere, it's on the other side, of course. It's always going to be on the side I'm not looking at. Little storage compartment for blades there, but your blades are interchangeable. You just unlock this. You can push this, that releases your blade. Quick and simple. This has an easy carry handle on it. This thing weighs nothing, and it's got the side guide, and then I've got this is where I store it. And this old thing. Then I've got my assortment of blades here, along with some of my other clamps and blades from my other saws. And then you've got this, I think this guide goes to it, if I remember correctly. I think this is a vacuum piece here, I think, I forget. Anyway, it's got other tools that come with it. I don't ever use that. That's my scroll saw that I do use. And I've got this killer old cabinet with a bunch of my decals on there, but it's perfect for storing the saw in and secure. It's got a bar on there. I can put my padlock on it and it's safe and sound, but I'm not going to put it away until I clean it. I always clean my tools before I put them away, which is a good rule of thumb for everybody. But yeah, quick and easy. Get the safety switch here, but it's a nice little saw. I will tell you a quick story about this saw, which this is just crazy. I told you my wife let me order that for Father's Day, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. And I had ordered it. I had been tracking the package. FedEx had it. And was waiting and waiting and waiting. And it didn't get delivered. And it showed that it was being delivered, but it never got delivered. So I call FedEx. They can't tell me where it's at. And I'm getting frustrated, and then I get a phone call, a random phone call. Is this Tim Nolan? They called my office, and I was like, yeah. And they said, you don't know who we are. We know who you are because we know your business here in town, but you don't know us. But we found a box that fell out of a FedEx truck. We were following it, and the guy left the door open. And when he went around the corner, a box flew out of it and rolled across the parking lot. and it's about a mile from your office, and we just wanted to let you know that we were going to leave it. There's a gymnasium there. We're going to leave it at the gym for you to pick up. And I'm like, holy hell, because it was my saw, you know. Fell out of the back of the FedEx truck, along with some other ones. They said they chased the guy down the road, but he was driving so fast they couldn't even keep up with him. He dropped some other packages further down the road. They did catch him, and he went and got those. Anyway, so they told me to, you know, I called this gym where the box was supposedly left, and they said, yeah, we got it here, no problem. And I said, well, I'll be there at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. I'll come by and get it. Yep, no problem. Show up at the gym the next day, and said, I'm here. I had a box that fell off the FedEx truck, and somebody left it here. I'm supposed to pick it up this morning. Oh, it's not here. I said, what do you mean it's not here? They said, one of our customers who said he knew you, that gets glasses from you, he works out here, he insisted on taking it to the local FedEx office. And I said, which one? Because we have a half a dozen places in town that you can drop FedEx at. There's not like a regular FedEx, but there's places, you know, we have, you know, package ship and places like that have FedEx, and they're like, oh, we don't know. It's like, holy shit. I'm destined not to get this saw. So I lucked out. The first place I called, which is a busy one downtown, I called and explained the situation, and the lady says, yeah, we got it. I said, I'll be down to get it. Please don't let anybody else take it anywhere, because I've been chasing this box for 2 days. So I went down and got it, and the box, fortunately, it was packed a box in a box. This was in its box from the manufacturer, but they had put it in another box. So the outside box was torn all to hell from rolling. It literally rolled across the street, across the lane, and up an embankment and into a parking lot. And so it tore up the outside box, but the saw was perfectly fine, but just crazy. It was almost like I was meant not to have that saw, but it makes for a great story anyway. So I will throw this onto the other small videos